All right. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. We are delighted that you've joined us for today's presentation, The Hidden Magic Inside of Your iPhone, hosted by University House Issaquah. If you're not familiar with University House Issaquah, Deanne Cole, the Community Relations Director, would be delighted to answer any questions or have you in for a tour at any time. Deanne, do you want to say hello and offer them your phone number?
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. Would be happy to have initial conversations with you about retirement living, what our community offers, and just give me a call, and you can reach me at 425-557-4200, and I will put that in the chat for you to refer to. Thanks, Tina.
You're welcome. And with that, I am delighted to introduce Bridget Agabra. Bridget provides compassionate training and service of all things digital for seniors and, like me, the tech uncomfortable through her local company, gentletechhelp.com. This is a wonderful presentation, and I think you're going to learn a lot about it. Just a reminder, make sure your microphones are muted. Actually, let me see if I can mute that. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn it over to Bridget.
Let's make sure we have everybody muted. Okay, thank you. And thanks, Jim, for sharing your cat with the meeting. I think that's lovely. I said, I love that University House is pet friendly. Thank you so much for coming today and to learn about the hidden magic inside your iPhone. I am so excited about this because I usually get the response from people, I had no idea it could do this one thing. Like sometimes people know about something, but there's so much to these phones that you don't really get an introduction to when they just kind of hand you the phone and set up your phone number. So I am going to be going through a lot of things today, and I'm going to go through them pretty quickly, because I want to share a lot with you. And Tina, there are some new things in this one. I added 2 new things that are really interesting that I think people will enjoy and don't know about. So you will be getting from University House, from Era Living, you'll be getting very detailed notes about how to do the things that I'm going to show you. So you don't have to worry at all about following along. It's a lot of touch this, go here, touch this, tap this, choose that. You're going to hear that a million times. But don't worry about remembering it. They're very clear instructions coming to you today or tomorrow. So watch your mail from Era Living. I do want to say that questions are definitely welcome. Questions about iPhones and the topics we're talking about today are the relevant questions that we can answer. Fingers crossed we have time for some of these. We might go over a smidge, right? But questions about what we're talking about today, rather than sort of just bigger questions about maybe a computer, okay? All right, so we're going to get started talking about the hidden magic inside your iPhone. And most of this is a live field trip. Most of this is going to happen, all of it's going to happen on my phone. You're going to be in my phone watching what's happening. I do like to say in the beginning that every iPhone is different. It's not as different as the apples and oranges of an iPhone to an Android, but it's more like a Granny Smith and a Honeycrisp and a Red Delicious. You know, every iPhone model, every year they come out with a new model, pretty much. Every model has 3 or 4 versions, right? So as you go back in time, there's all kinds of flavors of iPhones. Most of what we talk about today will work with most iPhones. The biggest difference that we will see in anything that we're doing today, except for one brand new thing, is what software your phone is using. So you might have an older phone like an iPhone 7, and as long as it's using the software 15 or 16, it will be able to do these things. If your phone is a much older phone and is using much older software, some of these might not be available to you, or they might be in different places. So with that caveat, I do want to explain that they just released the new software a few weeks ago. So I'm going to show you one thing that's only available with that new software. So if you haven't updated, don't rush. There's no reason to rush updating your phone, but it'll give you something to look forward to when eventually you'll have to update your phone. And this update to 16 is a big one. Wasn't so big last year going from 14 to 15. 15 to 16 is a little bigger one. So again, you're going to have very detailed notes. And I'm going to start with sharing my phone with you. And Era Living folks can tell me whether or not it's displaying correctly. It's displaying in a way that you can see?
Yes, we can see
Yes,
it.
Dion. Okay, thank you. And let me make it so that I can actually see a few of you. There's a lot going on my screen. So let me see a few more people on my screen. And then I'll get started. There we go. Sorry, just one more moment. The first thing I like to talk about that people might not know about is the Health app. So one of the things that Apple is doing, it has a couple of ways that it differentiates itself, and really, as you know, these are premium cost phones. They differentiate themselves based on the quality of their camera and photography, their policies about privacy and security, and they're really moving into this place of having it be a health tool. And for a lot of seniors, having it be a health tool is really something that really draws people to the iPhone. Boy, when you add something like an iWatch to it, an Apple Watch, it can be really a helpful thing to manage your health tool. I mean, it can measure blood oxygen level and your heart rate and your whether or not you've got AFib going on, all kinds of exciting stuff. All right, so we're going to talk about some settings that make your phone work a little bit like a life alert, All right. Your watch, by the way, if you have a watch, the watches have the fall detector. A more recent watch has a fall detector like the life alert. So first thing in Hidden Magic is learning what you can be doing inside your health and medical ID. So the health app is this white one with a red heart on it. And remember, you can go look at it and open it. But remember, when I get going, I'm gonna kind of roar through this, and you will have notes. So just absorb. That's kind of great. So if you've never used the health app before, once you tap it, it's going to go through some kind of tutorials with you. So if you've never used the health app before, you're going to be seeing a little different screen. Excuse me. But this is what it winds up looking like. Here is your health app. And you'll see in your corner, in the corner of any of the pages, you'll see in my case, excuse me, I have my picture. It may just be a little gray person, or it may just have your initial on it. So this is someplace where we can add health and emergency contact information and medical conditions. We can set it up so first responders can get to it, even if your phone is locked. You know how you have to unlock your phone using your face or your thumbprint or numbers? You can set it up so only this information is available in case of an emergency for first responders. If you're, let's say, not in good enough shape to unlock your phone, they know to pick up an iPhone and look in this particular place to get it. So that's optional for you. So here we are in the health app, and I'm going to tap on the little picture of Bridget in the upper right. And now I've got things called health details and medical ID. This is where it gets fun. I'm going to tap on health details. Remember, I'm saying tap, click, tap, go. All of this is written down. And for those of you watching on video, this is not my correct information. I mean, this is not my specific information. It's changed for the video. So for my security, this has changed. So here we have name, date of birth, my sex and blood type. And when I want to put these things in, I tap the word edit. And now I'm in the edit mode and I can change my blood type. I could change my Fitzpatrick skin type, which I asked a doctor. He said, no, that's something we really don't care about and never use. So I don't set that. But if you have a Fitzpatrick skin type that's relevant, you can put that in. You can tap on any of these to edit them, to put in your name, your birth date, your sex, whether or not you generally use a wheelchair. And this one's important in this place. Medications that affect heart rate. So if you have medications that affect your heart rate, that's important for them to know right off the bat. Even if you don't allow them to see other things, you want them to know whether or not you take things that affect your heart rate. Okay. And then if you use any of the other health features of an Apple Watch or other devices, it takes these into account. So I don't use those. So I'm going to uncheck those. And in the upper corner, I'm going to put done. So this is very basic info. You could tell blood type, age. Now I'm going to go back and go to medical ID. And this is where it's a little bit more life alert if you're if you're familiar with that system. Here, I'm going to tap edit again. Here's where we could put in the big stuff. Here's where we can put in medical conditions, medical notes, allergies, medications, right? Medications, you can put them here. You reemphasize your blood type, organ donor, height and weight, right? That's easy stuff. And here's some stuff that folks, even if you don't fill out anything else, even if you don't want to put anything else, I encourage everybody to at least have emergency contacts enabled. So an emergency contact is a person in your contact list. If the first responders come and pick up your phone and get your information, they can see these people and contact them. So they can't get into your whole contact list. They can't get into your whole phone, but people can contact these people, right? Also, if you use your phone, and I have to be careful to not use the right words to trigger my phone to call 911. If you use your voice to call 911, or if you use your phone to call 911, these people are also contacted. And they'll show up in your contacts list with one of these little red stars, like up at the top of the page. So it's very easy to add an emergency contact from somebody already in your contact list. You would tap add emergency contact. You tap the person and then your relationship. And there we go. I'm going to get rid of her because she's not an emergency contact. Easy peasy. Even if you don't do anything else, let there be an emergency contact on your phone. If your emergency contact has more than one phone number, I suggest people using using the person's cell phone. If you have an adult kid and they have a work phone number and a home phone number, and I encourage you using the cell phone. And then down at the bottom are the things that people really don't know about. These two choices are called emergency access. Show when locked, and I have it turned on. You tap it to turn it on or off. See, it's green when it's on. And share during emergency call. Show when locked means if your phone is sitting there and it's locked and nobody can get in to use it, they can still get into the emergency part. And I'll show you that real quick. The second one is more, I just have it turned on just in case. There are some emergency services. I don't know if if One Medical, right? That's what our local One Medical. I'm sure that where Apple is headquartered in San Francisco, I'm sure their medical responders have it. But if the responders have this technology in the area, and if you've used your phone to get hold of 911, they can kind of reach through the system somehow and get this information on their way to you. I don't know whether our area has this, but I figure it's worth turning it on. So let me show you what show when locked looks like. What does that look like? It means I'm going to have to lock my phone. And okay, so now my phone is locked. I can't use it. It's locked. Ellen, are you waving at us? You're muted. You're muted, Ellen. So if it's a quick question,
Your
yes.
picture, your grandson is up. Is that what you wanted? The grandson picture on your screen?
That's my
Okay.
locked screen. Yes.
Okay,
So I'm showing you what that emergency access allows. So I can't let it see my face because my face will unlock it. So my phone is, let's say I'm in a car accident and the phone is sitting on the seat next to me. Right? God forbid, as my grandmother would always say, God forbid you're in a car accident. All right, so the phone is sitting next to me. I'm in no shape to unlock it. They don't know my code. They don't know what to do. So somebody tries, and I have to do this backwards because you can't see my face. It has to fail a few times. I have to make it fail a few times. Come on. Ooh, it's not liking being on Zoom doing this. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to unlock it. It's not liking doing that on Zoom. But what happens is if somebody tries to get in your phone a couple times, it's gonna say, put in the code, put in the code. And then on the little corner on the bottom, it's gonna say emergency. And when the person taps the word emergency, it says, here's where you can dial 911, even though the phone's locked. And then there's another place where it says the health details and medical ID. So I'm sorry I can't show you. It's not playing real nice with the Zoom meeting. But what it does is if somebody tries to get in your phone a few times, which they know to do, then it'll say emergency and you tap on it. And at minimum, you want them to see emergency contacts, even if you don't feel comfortable sharing your medical info. And people have different levels of comfort with that. I feel very comfortable that there's nothing Apple's going to do with my stuff. They tell you it stays local to your phone. My odds are better if somebody can get my information and help me in an accident versus not. But each person has their own comfort. So you can also make it so that you can use your voice to call 911 even if your phone is locked and you can't touch it. So it's on your nightstand. I mean, many of us know people who've woken up and something bad is going on and you can't quite get to your phone, right? It's locked. You can't go through that process of unlocking. You can use your voice to just do that, to call. I'm going to show you the settings that have to be in place. And again, it's your comfort level with using the voice assistant. I'm going to do this very carefully. The voice assistant for Apple is called Siri. So you say, hey, Siri, do this or that. I have several Apple devices in this room. If I give you an example, if I show you really what this is using the real word Siri, I'm going to call 911, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to use the name Sarah for my example, okay? Because I don't want to call 911. I have too many devices that are going to wake up and say, they'll call 911. So the word you would use is Siri. My Siris are paying attention. But for my example, I'm going to use the word Sarah. Is that okay? Now that can be a little confusing, but I don't want to accidentally call 911 on this. Okay? So to set it up so you can use your voice to call 911 is you're going to settings. And there is an option called Siri and search. You turn on the top, which says listen for Hey Siri. That little marble on the bottom is Siri listening to me. Hey Siri, goodbye. Okay. All right. That's what I want to not do. So I'm going to say Sarah. So it listens for Hey Sarah. And then the third one down says allow Sarah when locked, which means it's listening even when the phone is locked. I have that enabled so that if I fall I don't have mobility issues, but my mom did, and boy, oh boy, was that not wonderful. If I fall or if I have a problem and my phone isn't within reach, as long as Sarah can hear me, I can say, hey, Sarah, call 911. Okay. I think this is really important, and I think not a lot of folks know about this. All right. So let's get out of the, oh my gosh, the car crash stuff. All right. We're going to go into something, I don't know how much happier it is, slightly happier. You know, many of us, we have our vaccination, we have our vaccination cards. Some people have photos of their vaccination cards. And when you want to use your vaccination card, you have to show it, your vaccination proof places. It can be very easy to just use this Apple Wallet, which I'll have to tell you, I have never used the Apple Wallet for anything else. I don't like being involved in the financial systems of Apple. It's just not relevant for me. I'm fine using my credit cards. I don't need to wave my phone over things. But if you do, more power to you. It's just not my world of waving my phone over the payment systems. But you can have your vaccination listed with a QR code that they can verify from the state of Washington right on your phone. The steps are detailed in your notes. You first have to contact Washington's Department of Health. They send you a little thing. There's very detailed steps on how to do it, but it winds up in your wallet on your phone. So it's this easy to show somebody that definitive proof of vaccination. Tap on wallet, and here's my stuff, and here's my vaccination. All of my vaccinations add up. They put them there, and they've got this big QR code. If you are someplace where they somehow need to really get in and verify, right? This is issued by the state of Washington. So it's like definitive proof positive that you have these in a way that's a picture or sometimes isn't. So the steps to get this include going to, it'll be on the notes, but you have to go to the Department of Health. You put, all they need is your name, your birth date, and your phone number. I suggest using your phone number because you want it on your phone. And you create a little 4-digit PIN. You're not even creating an account with the Department of Health. It's just sort of a one-shot deal. And they'll text or email you the link, and then you follow just a couple of steps right there to put it in your wallet. I like this. It's very convenient. I don't have to. I was the photo person right in the beginning before they enabled this. I would have to go in and find my picture and then make it big, right? So wallet, easy, and it's got that big QR code, so it's like proof positive. So you've got that. Now, something having nothing to do with health whatsoever, just fun. This is just fun. This is using a ruler to measure things. So your phone is a ruler, and your phone's also a carpenter's level. So I love the carpenter's level part of it, but I have to say, I love carpenter's levels, the big old ones. So if you have a big wooden carpenter's level with a little bubble in it, I think those are beautiful displays. So you can now take that and put it on display somewhere. We're going to get rid of your need to use a carpenter's level, and you can get rid of your big old scanner later on. So carpenter's level comes in the app called Measure. Sometimes people have deleted it. Sometimes you need to go to the App Store and put it back, but it's one that's always on the phone, starts out. When I tap Measure, there's 2 choices at the bottom. One says level and one says measure. So I'm going to show you the level. The phone itself has a little gyroscope. I don't want to make anyone nauseous tipping that. So it knows whether or not it is level. Here we go. I forgot to do this. Okay. If you're somebody like me who likes to level, go around and see that all their paintings are level, this is a lot of fun. Okay, I'm going to pretend this is a painting, and I'm going to hang it very poorly. I'm going to hang it. You can see it behind. Put it here. I'm going to hang this painting in a very crooked way behind me. I tap on level, and all I need to do is hold my phone up underneath the painting. And you can see it's at a terrible 29-degree angle. Well, that's not very good. I'm going to try and do it right now. I'm rehanging my painting and I'm putting the phone up to the bottom. Perfect. Green, 0. Like I said, if you're the kind of person like me, so when I first found this, I went around the apartment, I adjusted the paintings to where I thought they were level and then tested myself. And it's really fun. So now you could just test it and get everything level. Right? The other piece of measure down at the bottom is called a measure ruler. Now this ruler is good enough to measure if you're in a furniture store and you want to measure a couch or you want to measure a corner of your house. I tell people I wouldn't measure this and then cut carpentry wood. It's not exact enough to do that. But if I wanted to say, how big are these squares? Oh, look, it even says add rectangle now. That's new. I tap measure, and this is called augmented reality. I tap the little plus sign to start measuring, and I bring the phone, I drag the phone across to the other end and tap plus. And now I can see 7.5 inches. Okay. What this does is it allows you, I just think it's easy when you're in a store. You could take a picture. Let's say you want to buy a chair. You could take a picture of the chair, but this way it gives you a way to measure the width and height of it. Great. Don't do carpentry with it, but you've always got a ruler with you. So you know that big yardstick that is like in the back of a closet that you use maybe once a decade, right? Out it goes. Down at Value Village. Here you go. You can take my yardstick. That's fun. That's augmented reality. Soon our eyeglasses will be able to do that. Next, scanner. Your phone, your iPhone is a scanner in a way just like that big scanner that you have somewhere where you lift up, put something in and it scans. And it probably is a better scanning capacity. All right. If you have something that's just a dedicated scanner that you use once in a blue moon for tax forms, you may think about learning how to use the scanner in the phone, right? A scan in this sense is not like a picture. It's not like taking a picture of a document and sending it, because if you have to submit something to the state, if you have to submit something in a legal way, it can't be a picture. It has to be a file type called a PDF. And a PDF is what a scanner does. It scans the document and it saves it as a PDF. And most PDFs, you can't really fake them very well. Not super easily. So a PDF is the kind of thing you need when you want to scan a document, right? This is not what you'd use to scan photos to save them. This is to scan documents that you need to submit for maybe like your taxes. Like your accountant needs a scanned PDF of something versus a picture. So the scanner, also super cool. It's a little hard for me to show you, so I'll explain the steps and then I'll do it. You take a document, a nice black and white. This is one of those boring pieces of things that they put in with all of your insurance explanation of benefits where it has 5 languages and things. Okay, one of those things. You put it on the table, you make sure that there's some light. You go to notes and you use the little symbol that means new note. In an older phone, you might have a little plus there. Then you tap the little camera. Remember, you'll have notes here. And then you tap scan document. And what that does is it turns on the camera. Now, what you have to do, and what's a little hard to show you on the meeting is you stand up and you hold the camera right over the document and hold it still for a moment. It'll turn yellow and take the picture. So I'm going to do that, but you can't really see me fully standing up. Okay, I'm standing up. It took the picture. And now I'm going to tap the word save. So now it has a scanned document that everybody will accept. I'm going to tap the image, tap it. And up at the top, it says Blue Cross because it takes a stab at guessing what this is about. And instead of Blue Cross, I'm going to tap that and I'm going to say insurance. Insurance demo. I wind up with a lot of these insurance forms because I did when I teach classes, I use this. So I wind up, why did I scan all of these useless things and save? So now I've got a PDF, a legally acceptable document. And how do I get it off my phone? In the upper right-hand corner, there's a little box with an arrow. I can tap my mail if I have my mail set up on my phone and email it to someone. I can email it to myself and then open it up on my computer if I want to be able to do things with it on the computer. You know, I can just email it to myself. I could text it to somebody. You know, there's a lot of choices. You can save it to your files if you're somebody who lives in the Apple files world, you could save it here, but oftentimes I just email it to myself and then use it on my computer. I just take that attachment and use it where I'm going to use it. But this is a scanner, just like the big scanner and probably better quality. So you can take the scanner, donate it with the yardstick and put up your grandfather's carpenter's level for display. Just my suggestion. All right, two last things. And these are new, Tina. You haven't seen these before. These are new. Two things that you might not know. One is something that your phone is doing now that you might not know that it's doing. And the other one is something that just started with iOS 16, with this thing that updated a few weeks ago. What Apple does, Apple is in the forefront of artificial intelligence and machine learning. What does that mean? It means what it sounds like. The machines are learning about us. So when you take pictures on your phone knows, oh, these were all taken about the same day, or this is the same location. If you have it set up, it's like, oh, these are the same kind of people. It kind of recognizes people. And it makes these little slideshow movies with music and backgrounds automatically. It just makes them. And they're so charming. If you don't know that they're there and you look, they're so charming. So you get to see a little bit more of my family. Okay. Let me put the memory slideshow. All right. In your photos, there's a little area. You'll see somebody starring in a lot of these photos. This is my first grand kiddo, so there's a lot of pictures of this one. So in your photos area, along the bottom, there is an area called For You. And For You at the top, it has this memories area. And I'm going to see all. I'm going to tap see all. I'm actually going to show you favorites. And in this, I'll pick, if you have favorites, it'll keep them. Where are we going? Let me just look for one specific one. All right, I'm going to do this one. I think we were out at Alpental. So it picked the name Exploring. It picked the date. Forgive me, this is, there'll be pictures with eyes closed. We're not professional photographers, but you'll get the gist that this happens automatically. Oh, let me make sure the sound is shared. Share sound. Okay. When I tap this, it's going to take a moment to start showing. Oop. It's not doing the sound, is it? Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's not doing sound, but it has really charming music. They have permission to use things like Fleetwood Mac. It does these little slide reveal things. I'm so sorry the music's not playing. So you get the gist that it kind of takes a look at the pictures that were taken on that day. And it says, how can I make a cute show? So sorry, I wonder why the music is not on. And I think it's very picturesque. It ends with this. Look, and then it fades out. Like, I couldn't do better. I could not do better than that. See if one more has the sound. That's really funny. So this is called Memories. It's already making them. Let's see a hike we took last Thanksgiving. There is just no sound. All right. But it combines videos and pictures. It does these colored backgrounds. See how it has blue on the top and brown on the bottom to match the picture? It's just really kind of amazing. And it's making them without you knowing. And it's not always places. It's things like if you take a lot of pictures of your cat. My cat unfortunately passed away. And it made a slideshow of my cat, which is too sad for me to look at right now, but it made a slideshow of my cat. And it does lovely music. Oh, I think it's because, I think I have the sound turned off because I don't want anything. I'm in do not disturb mode so that nobody can call me. So normally there's really cute music. Right? Great. We're going to get to the medication tracking and we will have time for questions. This is a delight. I encourage everyone to go look for this. If you don't take a lot of pictures on your phone, you really might not see anything. But even if you just take pictures, it'll go outdoors or garden or springtime. It just does the best it can with what it has, and it makes these cute little videos. Right. This is something brand new to iOS 16. The last thing we'll talk about before questions. It's another health thing. So for people who have to take multiple medications a day, in the past, the best you could do was set an alarm, for 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. and the alarm would go off and it would remind you to take your medication. And that was kind of the best you could do. Now they have something better. When you tap health, and remember, if you haven't been to health before, it's going to have you're going to be seeing some different screens. So it wants you to set things up. But you go to health, you tap browse on the bottom right, and you tap medications. And what I did last night was I added aspirin because I don't take any medication. So I had to add something, right? So you add a medication, and I'm going to show you in my photos. I took a whole bunch of screenshots that I could show you. Albums. I could show you, even though we weren't doing it live. Okay. So let's see if it's all right. When you add medication, it gives you a little thing like this, and it's going to give you an add medication, and it allows you to just hold up your pill bottle if you want. I just held up the aspirin bottle to the camera in the back, and it said, oh, is it one of these things? And I tapped the one it was. So you don't even have to type in all of your medication. You can hold it up and hold up the prescription bottle, and it'll say, are you sure it's one of these? Then it asks you, when do you take it and what time of day, or multiple times. And this is really cool. If you're somebody who takes a lot of medicines that have different pill things, again, my mom had a lot of medication ultimately, and it was very hard for her caregiver to help to figure out which ones. So this allows you to choose shapes of the medicine. And then on the next page, it allows you to choose the color of the medicine up at the top, the color of the pills, and then the background of how it's going to be displayed to you. See, I chose this sort of peach color, and up at the top, it shows you that's what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to look like in your list. So you've got peach color background. Here's the medication. Here's when I take it. Okay. So what's the deal with that? When you take it, when it becomes 7 p.m., there's going to be an alert to you, and you have to tap on your phone, whether you skipped it or whether you took it. So now when I go to my phone, I have a log that I took it, which I didn't, yesterday. So I have a log that the medication was taken. Okay. I guess I didn't do that last night. Okay. I didn't take it last night. I took it just now. So now you have a big list of what you took and what you skipped. So it's not just like sometimes when you just have an alarm, you know, a reminder set to take your medication. Well, maybe you're busy, or maybe you bump the phone and the reminder goes away before you take your medication, you forget. Or maybe you're just somebody who forgets. You're going to have a big list now that shows you how often you confirmed I took the medicine, which is amazing because, yeah, as we know, there's many medications which, if they're not taken regularly, there can be big impact. I think this is amazing, especially for people to take multiple things, right? It's so easy to set up. And then when you take it to your doctor's office, you can share it. You can share, and they can see, you know, you're only taking this half the time, so it's really not working the way it should, or wow, you took it every time. That, I think, is a game changer for seniors. I think it's long overdue. It was easy, and they made it easy. Unlike some of the other changes that they put in place, this one's easy. Walks you through. Take the white triangle pill at 7 p.m. Yep, easy to do. So now I would like to open up for some questions. And I know that was a lot. And please don't feel overwhelmed. It's much easier when your phone is in front of you and you can go step 1, step 2, right? Much easier. And remember that each phone is different. And I included in the instructions right up at the top of the instructions how to tell what kind of phone you have and what version it is. So that's in your instructions. So if your phone is not running like 15 at least, some of these will be in different places for you. That would mean you haven't updated your phone in 3 years. And I know it's been a rough 3 years, but your phone's probably been updated since. Okay. And that last thing, the medication pill thing, is only if you've upgraded to the latest software, iOS 16. That's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen eventually, whether you want it to or not, but as of right now, it's still optional. So I am up for questions regarding these kind of things. For anybody, whether you want to put it in chat or whether you want to put it, I'm going to stop so that I can see the screen properly. I'm going to stop sharing, but I can come back to it if needed, but it makes it so that I can't see the chat so easily. Okay, questions in chat? The software version, it'll be in your notes. How much battery does this use? I'm not sure about which thing it was, but if your phone is on, it's using some battery, and it uses battery even when it's not on. So I'm not sure what the question is referring to. Nothing that was happening here uses any kind of extreme or excessive amount of battery. What is the scanner icon? Can I scan multiple pages into one document? Yeah, you can. Just take one, put another document down. Have it take it, put another one down, take it. And then they're kind of all together. It's to try it out a few times, but you can do it. Try it out a few times so you can see, and then you're going to hit do a few of them before you hit save. Put them in and then hit save. So practice it a little bit. See, but it's really good. The scanner icon is when you go into notes, and you click the icon for a new note, and then you tap the little camera, then you tap the word scan documents. So it's in notes. I think that they could have put it in its own little standalone thing. I think that'd be easier for people, but that's why I'm not the boss of Apple, And if you don't have questions, were there any things that you maybe didn't know about, that surprised you? It's always nice to hear if there were things that people didn't know about.
Well, for me, it's not necessarily a surprise because I discovered this at some point, but I love the little slideshow thing where it puts together your pictures into this fun little presentation so you can watch. I've got one that's pet friends over the years with a million little cute cat pictures that it rotates through. So I find that to be a pretty darn cool feature.
Yes. Yeah. I love the little memory slideshows. It would have been more impressive with music because they try and pick a music that goes with the vibe of the photos. And I love seeing what the machines think.
No, you can.
I have.
Okay. Ellen, you'll be next. The VICBI.
That's
That's it.
Okay.
Did you have a question?
Yes, when it comes to the scanner, I could really use that. And I just heard you say you go into notes, which I did, and under notes, I should be able to find that, and I don't have that. So my version is 15.7. Should it be there?
You've got it. You've got it. So just wait for the instructions to come and follow them step by step.
And then that will tell me how to get there. Okay,
Yep.
and then there was another icon that I couldn't see when you were talking about it. It followed the scanner. And I had trouble following you because I couldn't see what icon you were talking about when you it showed all the icons on your icons on the screen. So I had trouble.
Was it about the scanner? I
It
mean,
was the next one after. It was you talked about that after you were done with the scanner. I didn't
the
write it
ruler,
down.
the ruler.
No, that was before. Yeah, I got that. That was obvious. I had that.
The photos, the photo app.
I had that. Okay, well.
You can look on the notes and
be
able to see.
Okay,
And then-
great, thank you.
Sure, Ellen.
My question is perhaps not quite what you were dealing with, but how do I get my notes? Well, not my notes, but whatever my information from my computer into my iPhone. If you're going to be giving me notes from this meeting,
They're going to be
guess it's-
emailed to you. They're going
Yes.
to be emailed to you like the invitation, and you can open them up and read them. They don't need to be in your phone for any reason. They're
okay,
just
just
something
from
to
the
read.
computer.
Yes, you're just going to
Yeah.
read them. You're going to read them and hold up your phone. And they don't need to be on your phone. You're going to read them. In fact, I don't use my phone as like a business tool with,
Okay.
documents and things, because I think the screen is just too small. So I use a regular computer. You can read step by step and then follow it there. And I think somebody asked a question. I have been told that the apps use a lot of battery. So are the newer phones using less battery if using apps like that are on all the time, like Health? Health is just collecting the stuff anyway. So Health is collecting, we didn't talk about it today, but your phone is a pedometer. If you want to have fun, go look around Health. Your phone is a pedometer. Many of the newer phones also measure your walking steadiness. You don't even need to watch for it. So we can't go all the way into that yet, but explore. So when people talk about battery, using the battery, I talk about this example of, I think iPhones are designed, I have this person in my head named Chris. Chris is a busy 24-year-old who lives in San Francisco and uses their iPhone every day to like create documents, and when is the subway coming, and I'm ordering my food, you know, somebody who like lives out of their phone. Like, this is designed, which is why I thread through and find things that are relevant to seniors and like kind of a regular life that's not happening in San Francisco. So if you are somebody who like if your battery is draining so much that you are out of your house and out of your car and your phone is running out of battery, then your phone is probably maybe a little older. I mean, you plug it in overnight and it's charged every day. It should last you the whole day. You should not use your apps so that it's not changing your battery health. It's just, you use apps because it's part of your phone. It's like saying, I own a car and I'm not going to drive it because I don't want to put any wear on the car. Well, like, you know, that's what the car is for. That's what these apps are for. And that's what the battery is for. So if your phone is old enough or in bad enough condition that it's not holding a charge for more than 2 or 3 hours, you kind of need to look at changing the phone or changing the battery. But a regular phone can use stuff all day long, that health stuff all day long. It's just built in, and you just charge it at night. Or
I have
charge
a
it.
question.
Wait,
I have a
let me get,
question.
before I take another one there, how to change vaccination records on the wallet. You just update them and it adds the new ones. What iPhone versions have the iOS 15? So that's not the newest one. I think 15 was available for iOS 7 and above. Okay. Then was somebody asking a question about the battery, a follow-up with the battery health?
I don't, that wasn't me, but I do have a question. And my question is, I have a Fitbit, and can I connect that to my iPhone? Yes, no.
A little out of scope, but what you have to do is go to the App Store and get Fitbits software,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
it'll
And
connect.
then that will.
That's going to be the
give me
easiest way.
instructions.
Sarah, do you have a Fitbit and
I used to have one. If you get the Fitbit app,
Yeah.
it'll walk you how to link them
Okay,
together.
thank you.
Yeah.
I need the app. Okay, good. Thank you.
And if I could have people kind of wave a hand if you have a question that way, or if I can't see you, maybe you could just speak. Peggy.
Yes, I have simple questions. How do I use the calendar? I'm thrown by that and can't seem to figure it out. And making lists. If I want to make a list of some books that I would like, or a grocery store list that I
Yeah.
won't need
I am so sorry that that's like not part of what we're doing today,
Oh,
but use notes, tap notes and make a new note in your books. I mean, you can go to Apple's website. I can't get into teaching everything, but notes are pretty easy. If you tap on notes and make a new note,
that's good. Thanks.
and then it'll kind of save them. In
And
fact,
the calendar, what do I look for to get help there?
you can look on Apple. You can, this is what I do for a living. You can hire me to help you. You can look on Apple. Again, the calendar is kind of straightforward. If you tap on the calendar, what helps to know is in the Apple world, when you want to add something, you put plus, and that'll give you something new. You put edit to be able to make changes, and then usually done saves it. So, and the Apple calendars are really good.
Thank you.
And Tina, I don't know if Tina, if you guys wanted to offer some personal help, if that's, or something, if you were doing that at University House or something.
Well, we're definitely going to send out the link to this presentation so that if anybody wants to watch it again to kind of review that might be helpful. And then, of course, we're going to attach the notes that Bridget sends us so that you'll have the notes and you'll have the video to kind of go back and review.
Thank you.
Right. Much
you.
easier when it's step by step, slowly on your own phone, for sure. But hopefully you found something new that you didn't know was there.
Yes.
Great. Thanks. Good.
Thank you. Thank
Sure.
you very much.
Sure
Yay.
thing.
Well, I think we're sort of winding down on questions. Dion, did you want to say anything before we wrap up? If you're there.
I just took a minute to unmute.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Bridget. A ton of great information. I'm not an iPhone user, but I did listen along and watch. So when you all receive the recording, go ahead and go through it again, and you can stop and pause and look at your notes. I think it'll be really helpful for you. If anybody's interested, which thank you for all being here, by the way, but if anybody is interested in learning more about University House, or you know friends or other loved ones who are, please just reach out, give us a call. I'm happy to help.
And I think before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone that we also have a couple of events coming up live and on site at University House Issaquah. So if you get emails from us, just be watching for those. And, you know, we'd love to see you at future events at University House and future webinars like this with Bridget, who we love working with Bridget because she always has just invaluable information to share on a number of different tech issues. I've learned so much from her this year, I can't even tell you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful afternoon, all, and enjoy. And we'll see you again soon. Okay. Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay, very helpful.